Hello and welcome to the Next ReeVlog. I'm going to make a cup of tea. There's just water in there at the moment, and I think it's definitely going a little bit stale. I really shouldn't drink from that at the moment. That's fine. I have orange juice. So, I feel kind of bad about something to do with D&D, which is rare. Oh dear. Okay, I'll move it further back then. Going well. Sure, I'll take this angle. Yeah, I've changed character in one of the campaigns that I'm in quite a bit. Originally I was a tiefling monk, and then they got the plague and were very untrusting, so they fled. So then I was a elf rogue, and they had to go find their fiance, so they left. And then I brought back the monk, but by this point, the monk was also a warlock. That's how they got cured of plague. And I played them for a while. Then another player's old character, sent them a message saying, "Yo, I need your help." So they were like, "Okay, bye," and left. Which is fair enough. They were a bit overpowered, and so was the other one, to be honest. It seems to be a problem of mine. I make characters that are too good. But yeah, oddly enough, I then played that character's sister, who was a goblin multi-class abomination, really. But they played like an NPC, so I was like, I'll play a different character. And one of my other friends was like, I'm going to change character as well. And so someone else also said, I want to be someone else as well. So the three of us arrived together, and lo and behold, it was that old character that told my first character, "Yo, I need some help," which is why they left about a week before. So I don't know how that's going. I wouldn't have left that character if I didn't, think that they in world would have done that. But then they're not there anymore, so I don't know. Aside from which, though, I am now a snake man, a naga, only with 2 arms, and I'm chaotic good, I think. Though, yeah, the Unearthed Arcana Artificer came out, and I loved being my snake man called Israhalianus, but there's a but. Artificer is the class for me. Yes, it's Unearthed Arcana, so it's playtest material, and also I want a subclass where I can get something equivalent to unarmored defense and unarmed strikes, because I like the whole I am the weapon sort of thing. And of course, the easy way to do that would be like a subclass where it's self-alteration, or like a tattooist one. So your infusions you can make sort of self-permanent. They only work on you because it's your magical knowledge and your knowledge of yourself, so you can't permanently upgrade other people using your infusion things. But yeah, they'd be like, yes, you can permanently infuse yourself with this thing. So once you choose that infusion, you cannot replace it when you level up. Which I think would make perfect sense, to be honest. And might try and think of one in my noggin, because I like unarmored defense. It's great. Israhalianus was a stone sorcerer, so they got natural armor of like, I don't know, I think it was like 15 plus con or something like that. And then BB, I decked out with defensive items. BB was my rogue. They got like studded leather armor +2. They had like +6 dex, and they had, I think, a ring of protection +2, and the defensive fighting style they were pretty good on the defense. They had like an AC of 24 or something. And then Monk, Dex and Wisdom are your key stats, and they are the ones that fuel your armor class. So my Monk's AC was 20. Yeah. However, because there isn't a subclass for Artificer that allows you to do that, I've just decided I'll go with Artillerist, because we don't have any solid ranged combat people. We have a Sorceress who, you know, can do ranged combat, but they're always alone, and at some point they got their leg removed. Yeah. So I feel like having the half-caster and the caster at the back, whilst there is another half-caster and a caster at the front, along with the rogue, because we have a different rogue now, it would make good sense, I guess? Yeah. And I have a magic item that I won't be using, and I'm planning on giving to the full caster, which is going to make them even more broken, because they are super broken, which is the Ring of Spell Storing, that my sorcerer version of Israhalianus, because he's going to keep the name and the voice, has been trying to turn into a Ring of Spell Storing for 10 slots rather than 5, which means that when we get level 17, the full caster can, you know, put a 9th level and a 1st level spell in it. And then we have 1 day of brokenness, because that's 2 9th level spells in that day. Or they can just put in like 10 1st level spells, or some crazy combo. Especially because they can have 2 what's it called? Concentration spells. Sorry, my concentration is obviously not that great today. But yes. Yeah, so I went for Artillerist rather than the other one, because I'm going to be the other one in a campaign next year. I've already made the character, and I've designed their backstory in a way which leads kind of naturally into being an alchemist. So there's that. But this one, Artillerist, because that way I'm going to go for the whole heavy crossbow, sharpshooter, crossbow expert deal. And they're going to be a gnome, because gnomes, they get Artificer's Law anyway if you're a rock gnome, which I am. So that's fun. And I have taken Squat Nimbleness as my other feat, because I'm level 12. So for my 3 ability score improvements, I've taken just feats. Because my this DM doesn't do a feat for a floor when you start the game. When you're level 1, you don't get a feat for a floor. I probably should make a floor for this one. Potentially. I don't know. I'll think of something. Maybe like, I don't know, I'm chaotic good. I don't know, I could just make them chaotic evil. Or lawful evil. I kill everything. No, I like keeping the personality of the character the same, even though it's technically a new character. The same character. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, if my DM lets me, I messaged them yesterday, they haven't looked at it yet, that the Snake Man was actually a mech that was made by my mentor like 120 years ago, which is when my character would have been 11, if I've got this right. And, well, something happened, my village was attacked, and my mentor like threw me in the machine and was like, go! And so since I was 11, I've been like, I am a Naga now. So that's why my character speaks Naga, and why he identified as a Naga. However, in the first session I played as the Naga, they got petrified, and so I'm going to say, like, since then, the Naga suit's been sort of malfunctioning, and, like, the front of it's just going to, like, fall open, and I'm going to crawl out as a little gnome, like, what's going on? Oh, I remember this. Will be a body that is probably going to be of a young gnome, actually. I need to alter my height, so I'll be like, I don't know, 2'11". Yeah, 2'11", due to the fact that I'm not a fully grown gnome. Gnomes reach full maturity around 40. I would argue humans don't reach full maturity until around 32. Because I know my brother is certainly not fully mature and he's about 25. And I'm certainly not. Yeah, but they're actually 131. They've got the knowledge of it. And when they were really young, they read a book, which was The Tome of Clear Thought. And then last year, so it would have been, no, it wouldn't have been last year. So they went in when they were 11, which would have been 120 years ago. So they were a Naga for 120 years. Then it would have been 20 years ago. Not 21 years ago. So I need to edit this, because there's 79 years left. The Naga suit automatically processed the book knowledge back into them, which is why their intelligence is so high. But yeah, they also have a heavy crossbow, which was inside as part of the self-defense part that their teacher put in there. It's called Yara. It is a heavy crossbow of wounding, because I've wanted a weapon of wounding for ages and never got one. Then they have infusions, which are temporary magic items. You know 6 and can have 4 at a time when you're level 12. Got a bag of holding. I know how to make resistant armor, which you have to attune to, but it's, you know, you get a resistance, so that's cool. A periaptive wound closure, which means if I drop to 0 hit points, when it comes to my turn, I automatically stabilize without making a death saving throw. And when I roll hit dice to regain health, it doubles the amount of health I regain, so I have to use less hit dice, which isn't that useful. Gauntlets of Ogre Power, which means my strength is 19 rather than 4. And an enhanced weapon, which is literally, it just means I get +2 to my weapon. So it's a weapon of wounding +2, effectively. But I also know how to make a returning weapon, and yeah, that'll be it. The reason that I picked enhanced weapon rather than enhanced defense, because I like my AC being high, is because the artificer only gets extra attack if they're using a magic weapon. Oh, this is a magic weapon. Duh. I'm gonna change that to enhanced defense then. No, that's what I usually do. I'm not gonna do it. It's fine. But yeah, I get magical weapon. Weapon of wounding's magical anyway. That's fine. But yes, that's makes it really good, because it's a D10 +7 due to the 20 dex, and it could be a D10, well actually it's a D10 plus a D4 at the start of their turn, +7. I need to specify necrotic for the D4. Then, so every time I hit them I do an extra D4 damage, provided they're not immune to necrotic damage. But also, I have sharpshooter, so I can take the -5 to hit for +10 to damage. which means maximum damage for a single shot without a crit would be 31, which ain't bad for a half-caster that doesn't have smites, because paladins, they are the DPS of the half-casters. Rangers are like all-round a little bit, like you got a bit of heal, you got a bit of support, you got a bit of damage. And artificers, they are the artificers of half-casting. So they have greater control. You can change a cantrip over a short rest. Do I need a poison spray? I feel like I probably don't. What other artificer cantrips are there? What have I put? Oh well, I've got it open over here. Scrolly, scrolly, scroll. Scrolly, scroll. In case you can't tell, I'm very excited about the whole artificer thing. That's why this is quarter an hour long and I'm not stopping yet. I mean, acid splash, poison spray, message, mending, and mage hand. I mean, I've got mending and mage hand, so I could take message. I could take guidance. Guidance is useful. What have I got in my wand? Wand has prestidigitation. Of course, the wand has prestidigitation. Clean. I should probably put a. If I'm going to have a damage cantrip, I should have it in there. But it's not very useful because you don't get the extra attack when you use a cantrip, because cantrip uses cast a spell action, and so you don't get to use your extra attack because it's not the attack action. I could take Spare the Dying. I do have Cure Wounds and Revivify. Resistance, Ray of Frost. I don't actually know what Thorn Whip does, so I'm going to look that up. But yeah, I woke up this morning and I was so tired that I went back to bed, which is actually really difficult to do because I'm sat here at my desk, my bed is over that way, and my alarm is over that way. So, oh well. So, Thorn Whip has been deleted from the wiki. Of course it has. Well then, is it elsewhere? www.dnd-spells.com. Cool. One action, 30 feet. Create a long vine-like whip covered in thorns. Lashes out at your command. Instantaneous cantrip. Uses an action. Make a spell attack. If it hits, it takes 1d6 piercing. If it's larger or smaller, you can pull it up to 10 feet closer to you, which ain't bad if they're across like a cavern, like a big dip, and then they fall. And it goes up, so it'd actually be 3d6 now. That's pretty good. But I don't. Yeah, I'll take guidance. I don't think I'll need it, but I'll take guidance instead. Thorn Whip I like though. But yeah, guidance, that extra d4 to ability checks, I think. Oh yeah, boop, 5e. No, not 5R, 5e. Yeah, is pretty useful, especially considering I'm going to probably make a lot of tool checks, so if I can add it to tool checks, that'd be good. So I have a lot of tool proficiencies. I have tinkers, thieves, smiths, carpenters, leatherworkers, jewelers, and poisoners. And I get double proficiency with all of those. One ability check. So a tool check is an ability check using tools. So that's fine. Yeah. It's concentration up to a minute, which is okay, provided I'm not using the Artificer-only spell, Arcane Weapon, which can last up to an hour if you cast it using a slot of 3rd or higher. It's up to 8 hours. You can only cast it on yourself, but you do an extra d6 damage of either acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, or thunder until the end of the spell. Whenever you hit, makes the magic weapon if it's not already, and you can change the damage type as a bonus action, which is pretty good, I'd say. because like you do something, it's like, oh, that's not as effective. Okay, next round, bonus action, I will do the opposite type of damage. It's super effective. But yeah, it's also a first level spell. You get 4 first level spell slots as an artificer at level 12, 3 second and 3 third. I think 13th level you get the 4th level spells, but you also get, yeah, you do, because you get Ice Storm and Firewall for being a artillerist. And artillerists also get turrets at 14th level or 18th level, something like that. You can just throw out 2. I think it takes 2 separate actions because it is an action to throw out the turret. But yeah, then you can have 2, and there are flamethrower turrets, there are force ballistas, and there are self-destructions. On top of which there's the defender turret, which is probably, you know, the most useful. So if you use the the flamethrower turret, it's 1d8 on a failed deck save, half on a success, but it's 15-foot cone. That's a bonus action every round. We also have a flying carpet, so I can just onto the flying carpet, and we just have like napalm. Force Blister is arguably the best DPS one. Ranged attack from the turret versus one creature or object within 120 feet. On a hit, it takes 2d8 force damage and is pushed back 5 feet. Pretty good. Self-destruct is a deck save within 10 feet of it, and if you fail, you take 3d6 force damage after on success. And then, of course, Defender, the one that I'll probably use with the Sorceress, is each creature within 10 feet of my choice gains 1d8 plus my intelligence modifier temporary hit points as a bonus action every round. So all of thus ranged characters, which could include any healers we may get and other such things, good. We can just sit back and temp hit points. People shoot arrows at us, oh no, temp hit points are gone, that's fine, bonus action, they're back. And if we don't get hit, I can use my bonus action for something else, like casting Sanctuary, or I don't know, something. I don't want to cast too many concentration spells due to the fact that I would like to be hasted. Haste is great. Or I could cast haste on someone else, that is. Then Alter Self is useful because I don't have Polymorph, because I don't have 4th level spell slots. But I can still go underwater. Oh, yeah, that's something I should probably do. I'll change one of my known infusions, probably the Resistant Armor, because I don't have it, to Manta Ray Cloak, due to the fact that I have a plan. I need to get an item that I was building. I can't use it anymore, it's a sorcerer-only item, I'll give it to the Sorceress. However, we're probably going to need water breathing when we go under there. If you get the Cloak of the Manta Ray, you can A, breathe underwater, and B, have a swim speed of 60 feet. I can only have 4 infusions up at once, which means I have to drop all of my other infusions to do this, because there are 5 members of the party, maybe 6. But if I do that, water breathing myself, through the magical power of Alter Self, I can get gills for an hour, give out all of the cloaks of the Manta Ray, then that would leave potentially 1 person. But I know we have other people with polymorph, so I can polymorph them into something like a shark. And yes, my strength will be 4 during that time, but I am a ranged character using a crossbow, so I can just put the crossbow on the floor, crank it, and I'm a crossbow expert, and also a magical tinkerer, so I'm pretty sure I'll find a way to load this crossbow. Even though it is a heavy crossbow, I'm sure I'll manage. But oh, I also have advantage escaping grapples because squat nimbleness, which is what gives me my 30-foot movement speed, even though I'm a gnome. Yeah, I really like this character, and they've got the same personality. It's the other character that I really like the personality of, because they're the same person, they're just a gnome, and they kind of forgot. But it's okay. They realise, and they feel kind of sad now that their whole life is gonna lie, and that their master's mech has been mashed. But oh well, that's fine. Also, they're a rock gnome, and Israhalianus, the stone sorcerer, get it, rocks and stones, was obsessed with rocks to start with. So it makes sense that he's still pretty good with stones. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing this character if my DM lets me, and I just sort of need to find out now. Regardless, this is over 25 minutes long, so I should probably go. It's the longest vlog I've done. It's probably the longest video I've put out in a while. Whoops. Regardless, I'll catch you cats on the flip-flop, and I need to go make breakfast.